everybody. We are live. Oh, Snow the Witch is the first one in the chat. Hey, Snow.
Hey,
Hey,
Snow.
Snow. How you doing, Snowflake?
Of course, Snow shows up. I have to
Welcome.
adjust my bra
Yeah,
immediately.
here,
It just
I'll do the
magically
same.
just
Makes you
happens.
feel better. We'll
All right,
just,
make sure tits
all
up,
right.
everybody.
All right, there you go. Welcome, everybody, to the chat. This is the continuation of Truth Talk. And this time, my special guest is my friend, Renee. Hey, hey, girl. How you
Hey, girl,
doing?
hey.
Hey, girl, hey, how you doing? I know we chat a lot already on the
Yeah.
daily because we're in several group chats together. And it's like like Noah keeps renaming them. I don't know what the waffles thing is about, but I'm adjusting.
I'm not really sure what happened with the waffles. I'm really bad. I try to go back and read them all to keep up, and I never can catch up. Like,
I know it's rough.
15 minutes have passed on the scroll, and I'm like, y'all, go back down. Hey, what's
Well,
up? Start a new one.
I was driving coming back from Portland, and it's like it kept going off, but I had my phone turned in or plugged into the car so I could listen to my Spotify. And it's like in between every song, and it was like bling, bling, and I'm like, I know I turned off these notifications, but bling, bling, and I'm like, oh, they got something to say.
I was like, oh my God.
I couldn't check it. Yeah, I was driving. I was supposed to hear music.
Drink break.
Drink break. Welcome, everybody. So, okay, Renee, it's been a hot minute. What made you decide you wanted to come on Truth Talk?
Well, you
Other than me
asked.
asking you.
It started off with you sent me a message on Facebook, and I read it, and I was like, why the fuck not? Sure. Because it's been so long. I was just kind of like, and I always toy with the idea of going back, and then I'm not, and I'm moving back, and then I'm not, and it's like that's gonna happen. So I just stopped saying things for when I want to, and I just kind of, I'm in a place right now where it's like the timing is weird because I'm about to move across the country, but things may look differently then. But I don't want to make promises because there's so much going on because I had just recently quit my corporate job. My husband sold his business, and we're just like, screw Texas, especially this fucking week. I've never been happier to fucking leave, and somebody has my uterus, so we're just booking it out.
Booking it out. What happened this week? Is it something newsworthy or something just personal?
Abortion ban that Greg Abbott put in is the heartbeat ban, and that means you can't get an abortion after 6 weeks. So a lot of people know my story is that I'm actually a birth mother that gave away my child at 21 years old. I got pregnant when I was 20 in a really dark place in my life, and if that law had been in that decision, because had I made a different choice to not choose adoption because I was super Christian then, so I was kind of forced into that situation alone. But I found out at 8 weeks.
Oh,
and
boy.
It was a pregnancy that risked my health and my life. So my sadness for the women here is very, very strong. And my anger and rage is very, very great. So
that would do it.
I'm ready to go to Colorado and leave this bitch behind. So plus I've been over Houston for Houston. So, and especially being in a corporate sector after having been working in a business me and my husband done for 10 years and coming into this shit, I'm just like, oh, year over year, month over month. I had never felt the way I felt about end of month being in sales and logistics than I had in my life. And oh my God. So I'm just in this weird in-between place right now where I'm in a huge healing journey of just kind of like coming back to human and just kind of rehumanizing myself away from capitalism, away from all these like different narratives, and just like, what the fuck am I even more after this? And I'm finding out that I'm a lot of things, and I'm none of the things that they had said. So, but that process has taken about a month because it was pretty traumatic. Because where I worked, and I won't disclose that where I used to like work, whatever, but the building next to ours, where I was at a corner part of a glass building, and you're kind of familiar with the area that was in.
Yeah.
And there's a parking garage over right here. And I had watched 2 people commit suicide that had worked at the place that I worked.
Oh, crap.
And I had to stay because like COVID started and all this stuff. And then we started working from home, and it got a little better. It got worse. Chemical shortage from the big freeze. And I got to a point where I thought I totally get why those people did it. And that some days I wanted to be that person. So quit my job. And so now I'm on this like weird journey of like, once it's quiet, what's left? once
Oh,
that
that's
rumble,
rough. That quiet.
like that
Yeah.
that
Once the dust
quiet.
settles, when the dust settles and you're like, okay, who am I? Who am I? What do I want? What's
And
at
why
the
am I
core? What
nauseous
what
all
am
the
I doing?
time? And then you start tapping into your body and you're like, why am I so no, oh wait, I'm physically sick.
Yeah,
And so I've been like going to the doctors, healing, all that stuff. And it's like, God, so as above, so fucking below, man.
that's the
In every
thing.
way. You don't think you're sick, but trust me, you are.
You are. Yeah,
You are.
you've just been you've been over functioning for so long you don't even know it. You don't even
Everyone
know
look up adrenal fatigue.
it. Yep,
Look up
yep, that's the
adrenal
thing.
fatigue and adrenal
Man.
failure. So, but
Oh,
I'm finally in a place where I can finally say, like, I'm happy. Me and my husband are really reconnecting in our marriage, and things
good.
are great. And we're so happy to leave. And we're just kind of like, bye, bitch, to this whole place.
Yeah. Yeah. Is there any certain spot in Colorado or what's leading you to Colorado?
And the mountains, just like us witches in our goddamn mountains, man.
Yeah, I
we just
know. We mountainy witches.
and it's just like we were talking about Washington State, and that isn't off the table, but it just got one of those things where things got so crazy here and things
Yeah,
got so heated with my job and him and the sale of his company, and so much was going on, and us just like, oh, we're choosing to be unemployed right now. So on top of that, like, but we just were like, let's just pick a place and we'll just keep pivoting. I don't care. It's just sometimes it's just you got it's leaving in this case, which is where it was more important than where we went to.
where you went. Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was just like get out of here. So and
Well,
plus the
this
housing market's where it is, and I'm about to go back to apartment because home ownership ain't for me at this age. I'm just
yeah.
like, please give me my money back. So I'm pretty excited.
I get it. I get it. I get it. I know you were talking about coming here too, and there's several others that have talked about coming here. I know maybe when you come for meet and greet, you'll see
Yeah.
kind of like the digs,
Oh,
see if that's
husband's
something
coming
that
to
works
that
for you.
too with me, so
Oh,
he's gonna
good.
see it too. Because I'm like, oh no 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 no! You said we were going to Washington State. We'll just make that the trip. I won't force you to look at houses, but kind of see. Not all the people are flaming with their, have flaming bras, go in the air topless, and not everyone are out in the streets doing heroin. Just calm the fuck down for a second. He comes from a really conservative family, and he's on his own healing process. I'm just like, not pray for him, but I don't know, light a candle or some shit for that poor man. And
You
some
are
stick.
funny. You are so funny. Oh my gosh, I choked on my coffee. I was like,
Sorry.
I tried to inhale it. Oh my gosh. Oh my God, I can't. Well, I've met you before. You were sassy little chunk of meat. I mean, you were, you were a sassy little thing at the second
I was also
witchy meet and
persuasive.
greet. That was so much fun. Oh my gosh, you were so sassy
Drunk.
sitting at that little picnic table with your drink. Nobody could do anything. Nobody could say anything. You were coming for them, all of them. You walk by, you're going to get it.
Those
I
are
love
the
that.
best to this day Bloody Marys I had
Ooh,
ever had. And not only that, I've gone back to Renfest twice, and they didn't have those Bloody Marys. I was pissed.
is that what you were drinking? You were drinking
Oh
Bloody
yeah,
Mary
there was
in
just
that
straight
big.
up the Bloody Marys from that big old tub that they just had out there in that whole little Captain's King pub area. I just said, lady, hold it up. She wouldn't tell me what over the counter mix she was using. And then also Bear's, fancy rum juice that Chris can't wait to try. So
Him and his rum, man. He has it's rum that he gets from Tortuga when he goes Grand Cayman. So
mm-hmm.
it's vanilla rum and it's delicious. That is some delicious stuff. Yeah,
He's actually asked me to ask you guys if you could send me a picture of the label.
you got it. You got it. Yep, no problem. No
While
problem.
we're
It's
on this
delicious.
live, I need this thing from you.
You got it. You got it. No problem. No problem. I'll make it happen. Hey, oh my gosh, we got quite a few people in the chat. Welcome, people. Welcome.
Hello.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. We even have Miguel in here who's going to be my next victim next week.
Hey, girl. Hey.
Yeah, wait,
I love
hey.
Miguel. I wish we were so much closer. I need him to fix this stupid haircut I gave myself through COVID.
You gave your hair. I think your hair looks beautiful.
Oh, not when it's straight, honey.
Oh, not when it's straight, only when
Not
it's
when
curly.
it's straight. Don't let the waves pull you. They save me.
They save you. What did did you do? You were in lockdown.
I
You
followed a
decided to
YouTube
go.
tutorial.
Oh no.
Exactly.
Oh no. Oh no, no, no.
So like buns, wavy. I'm telling you, be careful with the YouTube deep dive, guys. You'll get some ideas really late at night, and
Stay
you'll
away
regret
from
them.
Pinterest and YouTube in the nighttime. Stay away.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. I have a new phone, so I had to restart my Pinterest all over again because I had my Pinterest for so long that I couldn't remember what my password was. And then I also couldn't get into the email account that password was tied to for that account. I'm like,
Oh
where am
no.
I gonna go again? Here it goes.
You
I'm
remember
like,
your username? You can always look at your pins if they're public. I guess that's true.
I could, but I don't know if they are. That's the thing. So,
Oh dang.
I just start again. Just start again. Nobody can find me. Whatever. That's actually kind of nice. Actually. I had certain witchy private boards so family wouldn't see all that stuff. So
I
now I'm
straight
like,
up still do that to this day because I'm
do
just
you?
like, I don't know how these social medias connect anymore or cross
Yeah.
connect or what people can see on this app or that app. And I'm just
Yep.
like, private everything. I don't know
Private up,
what
private
even
up.
people can see. I give
Yeah.
up.
It's a thing. It is definitely a thing. Let me turn on this fan. Here. Oh, there. Hot flashing. Too much coffee. Too much coffee. See, don't get old.
You're not old.
Honey. Honey, I'm about to be 47. I'm
Ain't
getting there.
nothing. My
I'm
grandma's
getting there.
90 and still goes to silver sneakers. You can't tell me shit.
Just the silver sneakers.
And she
I
still
love it.
drinks. So she only drinks because of the silver sneakers. She says it knocks them each other out. That's where I get it from, by the way.
That is fantastic. And it's like, okay, all right, I'll exercise so that I have a drinking excuse.
Just go on more
Hilarious.
walks. That makes up for the wine. That's what I've learned from her. So
Oh gosh. So are you still in the closet with a lot of like your family members? Because I know that when we had last talked, you were sort of like there, but not, but I'm not sure. Is that
like
still a thing for
family
you?
100% still closeted because the thing is they struggled with me and my husband living in sin before we got married and being together for that whole 10 years, and they wouldn't like acknowledge or validate the relationship that it was until after we bought a house and got married. So with that, they just aren't people. It was a shock to have someone that was in an interracial relationship, and I'm only like half Asian, you know what I mean? And that was a huge deal for them. That was like a thing. So they're not the type of people that I would feel comfortable sharing with that,
Yeah.
because the questions aren't inquisitive, and the energy that would come back at me isn't
Oh,
really worth the openness for me, because I
right.
kind of like don't. And also the people, again, I love them in one way, but I also don't care about any of their opinions in either. So them knowing really doesn't have much meaning to me. So I
Right.
can say that I'm open, but at the same time, I've never really labeled like much of kind of what I did, if that
Hmm.
makes sense. You know, you can say I'm a witch or I'm a this, I'm a that, but my kind of spiritual practice crosses many boundaries. So it's just kind of like I am. So I
I
never got
am.
tied up in the verbiage so much in an identifier. Like I never got tied up in a version with my sexuality or anything I was supposed to come out on. So it
Mhm.
was just kind of like, I feel like that's one of those things that if that has to have that meaning of that release, if that's needed, then yeah. But at the same time, I don't feel like that would put me in a safe situation long term. Not like physically, but I feel like emotionally.
Emotionally.
You have a
Yeah.
narcissist at play in the family circle, so that was just
Gotcha.
make it difficult.
Gotcha. I have noticed that, I mean, at least with my kids, for a long time there was like, oh, no labels, we don't like labels or whatever. And now it feels like the younger generation is all about all these different labels,
Mm-hmm.
and they gotta let you know what their labels are right up front when you first meet them and everything. And sometimes that's a little like off-putting, offsetting, like
It's
I'm not
hard for
used to
me. Yeah,
it.
because I would be considered, I guess, I wouldn't say an older millennial because they're millennials, because like, I'm 32. So it put me kind of right in the middle of it. But I
Yeah.
guess my mindset is that of the ones that were kind of like older, because I grew up in a very southern place in a way that was technology and communication hadn't reached that area where I was living, where I grew up. So I grew up like very old school, and not in the way that most people were raised when I came like down here to Texas. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because there's more access and like education and the way people talk. So where I grew up for most of my childhood, it was like 1983, like kind of with some leftover Mario like threes from some Nintendos. Like it was just this. I'm dating myself very much.
You are. No, I love it. You know what? I think I told Noah this, that I'm so excited that some of you guys have all, or not all, most of my little friend group. I was the old lady in that friend group because I'm older than tequila. Like I'm older.
I say
Probably
two words
Sunshine
that
would have
won't
been
make
the
you
old
feel
lady in the
old
group.
right
What?
now.
What?
RCA dog. Do you feel a little better?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I do. I do. I feel a little thing. We had a big mirror that had the RCA dog that would go, hmm, like a big old mirror with it on the background with the big, what do you call it? Audio phone? What do you call it? The big cone with the radio.
I know you're
You know what
like,
I'm talking about? With
what's the
the
name?
big, like it looks like a horn, but it's not. It's like
Phonograph?
yeah, but it's old and I forget what they called it. I don't know. Somebody in there can say something about something. Anyhow, yeah.
Someone
So
use vocabulary skills. Please interject. Because
because
I
we're like,
clearly have zero. Anyone, please feel free to render aid. Thank you.
please
We'll
help us.
wait.
Please help us help you so we know what the heck we're talking about. No, that's a thing. That is a thing. But there's so many I don't know. I like how you said I just am and I just let it be. Like just let it be and just
I'm
be
going to
yourself.
talk about, this leads me to something that's really, really controversial to like my generation. I don't mean to upset anyone, but
Grab
at the
me your
same
phone.
time, there
Grab
is
me
an
your phone.
obsession with fucking catharsis to feel an ending that drives me insane. I'm not saying, yes, thank you, Melon Lord, and I love your name, and cute child. Cool. I did verify. Okay.
Okay,
No,
go.
there's this obsession with having to. I'm not saying you shouldn't feel your feelings, and I'm not prefacing with, I'm not saying your emotions aren't fucking valid. I'm just saying they may not be as valid or prominent or a priority to other people, and it is the way it is. But at the same time, your need to have this huge amount of catharsis, and everyone has to like agree, and then you have to have this happy ending, like an Olsen twins film from the fucking like late 90s to early 2000s. Like I get that's what you fucking grew up with, but that's not where we are, and I don't have to be in the same places with you, and you don't have to feel this huge catharsis or release like it's working. Like not everything has to end in a car explosion for you to feel better, because you feel like, because all that is traumatic reenactment, and you're re-traumatizing yourself, and you're making yourself feel these feelings, because then the trauma is over because you felt the feeling of the creation that you fucking created. So you're traumatizing yourself instead of letting things be where they are.
Ooh.
And that's speaking from a life story, and that's not a projection. It's just something that I've gone through recently. Nothing has to end. Things can end quietly, just like the wind. Things
And just
can.
let them go.
A broad heart leads to a broad road. Old Asian, Chinese proverb. It's just open your heart and stop caring so much about the verbiage, unless that's something that you need. If someone states that's what they need, respect it, unless you feel like it inhibits you. And unless it's something that deals with the government or with policy, if it deals with another person and it's something you can't change, move on and just be in the background and be supportive. That's kind of like all I've really that's all I realized, that's all I can do. And I have sat here and just suffered so much thinking of all this stuff. And that came from personally, actually, my mother. But the thing is, I've noticed that it's everywhere. My husband's dealing with that right now, because when he sold his company, he was supposed to feel this thing, and you got the check and the ink is dry and you're just fucking sitting here and you're supposed to be happy.
Yeah.
And you're sad because you feel nothing.
Oh.
That's when we realized how sick we were.
Yeah.
Working here. Yeah. We couldn't be happy if we didn't know how to be happy with our own success. we didn't know what to do. There was
Mm-hmm.
no more work. It was just silence.
Do you feel that, I mean, I certainly felt it where I was. Now, I'm not saying that every Texan, is having a horrible experience. Clearly not. But Texas for me was just not where I wanted to be. Not only did I feel like, a bit of a hostage in Texas, and because my kids had, Ridley actually was born in California. But my other two step kiddos were born in San Antonio, but Ridley was raised in San Antonio from like two on.
Yeah.
So, that was their hometown. So I felt like I stayed there for so long just to make sure they were good. And we were going to come to the Pacific Northwest, like, I don't know, 5 years before we actually got here. And the kids let us talk us they talked us out of it, and we should have just took them then, and it would have been a different scenario and situation totally. But I was so miserable in Texas, not only because of the heat but the allergies. I was fighting the allergies all the time. I was always ill,
Yeah,
and I
the
was
water here
ill.
makes us sick. It's so polluted. It's so filled with chemicals. They call where I am the Cancer Coast for a fucking reason. I'm sorry if
Yeah.
you live in Pasadena or Pearland. I'm seriously by bottled water. That's how bad it is.
Yep.
It's calcified our pipes, and also we use filtered water with like osmosis, and it still have to decalcify fucking Keurigs. Like that's part of
Yep.
why we're here. I have autoimmune disease. Like
Yep.
this place is fucking killing me. Like
Yeah.
I don't like either parasites in the water. Where if you haven't done a parasite cleanse since you left, I recommend doing it. I'm being dead fucking serious.
Yeah.
All of Texas should be on the fucking boil notice. These are parts of reasons why we're leaving.
Yeah.
I feel like, especially when I had that job, for the first time I felt like I fit in, but it was so sad. I remember going to work in line, and I remember the intro song to Weeds would play, Little
Mm-hmm.
Boxes.
Little
And I
boxes on
remember
the
in that
hillside, little
intro, I
boxes
was
in
one
the
of the
sticky top.
cars out of one of those exact houses, because there's the same 4 or 5 models in our neighborhood.
Yeah.
All the houses look exactly the same. All the cars are the same black sedans with the chrome edging, whatever
Mm-hmm.
model. And I'm in
Mm-hmm.
the same line to
Yeah.
go less than 11 miles, 45 minutes each way for something without traffic. Takes me 5 minutes to get to.
Yeah.
To just go into all these fucking steps, to then be so numb. And I'm like, oh, I finally fit in here. But I realized it was just this weird, drony, hive mind, weird energy. And then I started getting sick again. And
Yes.
it was just kind of one of those things. It was just like, it felt so Houston.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I worked in line of business. It was just, I've never felt so gaslit in my life. He's sitting there telling you to change the culture and we love you and all this stuff, and you join these clubs. Like I was literally a co-chair for the Veterans Foundation. Like I was like in it, and it was just one of those things where it's just like. But then we all look at each other like, why are we so unhappy? Why are we so sad? And then I look at my workload versus what I was doing and the amount of tasking and how fast I was. I remember it got to the end where I couldn't have a conversation with my husband because we had to talk so fast to get through all our meetings. I couldn't learn how to talk at a normal pace to have a regular conversation. And I realized, oh my God, we're no different than a fucking production line. And this is just what Houston is.
Yeah.
I don't feel like this town has a personality. I don't know if anyone's visited Houston. You're just like a lot of traffic, a lot of dirty stuff. Cool places here and there, really far apart though, really hard to kind of tourist around. But there's no like heart of a city that you feel like you go to Austin or San Antonio or Dallas. You know what I mean? It's just so sad
like
here.
a place that it's like an overflow place. It feels like either people are passing through or that's where they settled because they didn't really have an option.
And that's where the jobs are. That's when people just come here for the jobs, and the neighborhood's stuck behind. And now people are doing 2-hour commutes to go to work, like each direction now. I'm just like shit, like from Tarkington. Someone at my job who came into, I don't live in the Woodlands, but my job was in the Woodlands, was driving from fucking Tarkington. That's almost 3 hours each way.
Yeah, no, I was doing that in San Antonio. It was an hour and a half.
I'd rather, no. Like,
it was an hour and a half one way for me to go to work in San Antonio. And I just,
maybe I'm a lazy millennial, but I just never, when I was young, just envisioned and dreamed of myself working myself to fucking death.
Yeah.
Of all the things we wanted to be.
Yeah.
I didn't really have a thing I wanted to be. I told my teacher I wanted to be happy, and then I got an F. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was just kind of like one of those things, like, no, that's not a noun. It's an idea. Yes, it is, bitch. Look back now.
So let me ask, what do you want to do when you take the move? You're gonna get the move out of the way for sure. But
Yeah, for
is there
sure.
going to be family to hold you up there? I mean, of course you
No,
have
but
us online people.
I'm okay because we feel really isolated here anyway. So
Yeah.
we're okay to start over. Plus, with the isolations, it's still, we're still isolating here and there. It's more safer anyway. So we're going to go do that over there because, they didn't run out of vaccines and end up having over 3 million of them get thrown away. That happened in Houston, by the way. Sorry, America. Like, shit you don't hear about. Like, but there, everyone got all their shit. Don't have to worry about it. They have their thing, and life's kind of less I guess combative there. They're more chill about that kind of stuff, which I'm looking forward to. But what I'm going to do up there, honestly, because I have this weird opportunity that I'm not really sure what to do with, because I'm still kind of dealing with that silence of like, well, what the fuck next? We can't sit here that long, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like, we have time, but we don't have an unlimited amount of time. So what I'm going to try to do is just kind of connect with spirit a little bit and just continue the grounding process, because I don't feel I'm not quite grounded enough to go back into the workforce, but I'm probably going to go back and work for myself like I was before, because I had success there. But honestly, I want to hike more. I want to go outside. I want to drink clean water. I want to breathe in clean fucking air. And I don't want to drive an hour to go to everything.
Yeah.
That's literally it. And also, I would like my people to stop talking about my uterus so much. Thank you. Very little. Very little.
Very
like,
little.
I'm asking for human rights. So, not all of those, but some of them, low traffic times should be human right.
It should. I mean, I was so pissed off. There's times where I'm like, okay, yes, I got to decompress from my day, having this hour and a half commute home and this hour and a half commute too. And I listened to a lot of books on tape. I certainly did. Or, like audiobooks.
Yeah,
I certainly did.
Don't you miss just opening up a regular book that isn't a Kindle once in a while?
Yeah, I do.
And small pages. And like, I want to slow her life a little bit.
I love like an actual book to hold is nice. But, Audible and YouTube made my
Audible's too confusing for me. I don't understand the subscription model. So I gave up on that trial. I didn't even finish. And then was just like, why is it so hard to get the Matthew McConaughey book on fucking tape? I just want him to talk about green lights. Why is this all these fucking steps, man? I'm too tired. And then I just never open it again. That's me and half of social media and these apps. I'm just like, why is it so fucking complicated? I just want to hear Jackie McConaughey talk to me to sleep. Like every other 32-year-old woman who's kind of in a weird place in their life. Okay, mind your business.
You were saying how technology, the things just don't work for you. So, okay, are we in shadow right now in retrograde, or are we full on retrograde? Yeah.
I don't know. I don't look
it's happening this week.
There's not much of a difference sometimes lately.
You're right. You are right.
Solar flare bullshit, honey. I'm convinced that we glow in the dark to the creatures below, okay? Don't tell me anything. Aliens are here. Fucking no one's even freaked out about it. June 1st coming around, and I'm like, what the fuck? I need to know what's happening with the goddamn aliens. Because I need to know. I'm a vet. I need to know the threats coming from above, too, okay?
Seriously.
There's so many concerns with my PTSD I gotta deal with. I might need to adjust the medication. Like, I have to prepare for this shit. I'm autistic, y'all. Okay? Don't really change that well. And I'm in a transitional time already, so I'm just like, what is up? I don't know anymore.
What is up?
The planners and the moon apps aren't going to save me right now. It comes to a point where you get your book of shadows, you get your retrograde, you got your astrology books. I even bought the Benabel Wind course. I got that book too, and I'm just sitting here. I'm like, fuck. Maybe sometimes you just look down like things fucking suck right now. I'm just like, I don't need my astrology to tell me this is shitty. I'm very clear about this.
We're chuckling. I'm chuckling because you are so on point with a lot of this. And
It's just like
sometimes
a
you think
weather
you're going to
forecast. You
cry
don't need
and
to
you're going
look
to
at a
laugh.
weather report to know it's fucking rainy. I'm like, Jesus.
Jesus, for sure. It's like, just give me a lift. Oh man.
I guess we needed to laugh more than anything.
We do. You're either going to laugh or you're going to cry. And some of this crap just needs to be said out loud because there's so many people going through it. And that,
Yeah.
I think it was Crimson that put in the chats the numbness of the day to day, that numbness. And I remember that numbness. Working for corporate, not really being who they don't want you to be who you are. You get
I
hired
was still
for
thinking being a
your.
Christian. I was calling my grandmama, putting people on prayer lists for the Catholic Church
Mm-hmm.
because they made me prove it.
Mm-hmm. They will. They'll make you prove it. They will make you prove it.
I'm like sitting here. I would walk down these cubicles and they would yell at me, Renee, give that man a baby. And I would be like,
What?
No. Let's say such disgusting. I'm not ready right now. Raven, look me in the face and tell me this is the great time for me to have a child. Please do that with knowing that that's the best thing for me and my family. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, y'all are all looking out that window thinking the same shit I am. Stop trying to put kids inside of me. Like,
and it's not going to make it better right now. And then your poor baby has to go through this crap.
I know too many people that had babies through the pandemic. No offense, just little shit. If I do change my mind or the timing is right, I just thought my husband might want to come to the appointments with me. I mean, little shit.
Yeah.
He had a concussion during this, and he made me drop him off at the front door and would not let me walk him in, and he had no clue where he was, barely. I had to argue with that, and I'm a crazy Karen yelling at this little Lucinda up front saying, I don't give a fuck what your problem is. Get a human here to tell him where to sit if you won't let me do it. Like, that's like, you want me to have a baby in this shit down here? Nah. Nah. Maybe in Colorado. They seem to have this shit a little bit better.
They do. And there'll be nice, clear mountains and beautiful, crisp, clean air and,
the
4
apocalypse
seasons.
comes, Miss Little Army G.I. Jane's going to come back out, and I'm just going to go into the mountains and slowly cross into the Cascadia Ridge. You'll know we're coming for CB radio. It'll just take a while on foot.
It'll just take me a while on foot. You're a mess.
Or we'll meet you in Canada. Whatever's easiest. Canada might be better to make more cross points.
Well, we love the Pacific Northwest. We love it. There's a lot of open thinkers, a lot of like-minded. There are little pockets of little Trumpers.
Crazies everywhere, yeah.
Yeah, there's crazies everywhere. But, it seems like a totally different vibe. Totally different vibe here.
I'm so excited to visit. Even my husband's excited. When is it again? I need to look at Facebook.
September 25th. September 25th. And I just bought tickets. So tickets should be arriving probably today, if not tomorrow. So then
we're gonna
they'll go on sale on the 1st.
Yes.
I know. Exciting. Very exciting. We're trying to plan all different kinds of things. And a lot of our stuff is actually being lifted. So when we went to Portland this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, we got a little getaway to go to McMenamins, which is another thing I need to turn you on to. And when we got there to the property, you brought your vaccination card and then you got a wristband, and you had the choice to go around maskless if you wanted to, everybody who was vaccinated. But then there was others in our group that decided, I'm just going to keep the mask with me, because there were those people that were like, well, I'm not going to get vaccinated. And they're like, well, then you need to put your mask on. And they're like, well, I can walk around if I want to. And they're like, then you need to leave the property. They were just like not having it. And I'm glad that the McMiniman staff was so like on it. But then I feel like now that this has happened and the CDC has done this, it's like, well, how do you sort it out? It feels like Harry Potter. It's like, how do you sort out the liars? How do you sort those out? How do you, and there are those people that never wanted to wear masking.
Because people here are just getting vaccinated, and that's fine. I'm just sitting here, I'm like, I'm also one of those people because I do have my autoimmune disease. I will be fully honest, I haven't vaccinated yet. I just gotta
Mhm.
wait a little bit more to make sure people don't start having. I'm watching the actual CDC numbers on like respiratory failure and stuff like
Yeah,
that. So
yeah.
once I get them some more numbers, y'all can poke me 6 weeks apart, and I'll bring muffins or something. Okay, I don't give a shit. It's like, but me and my husband, we're still masking around because I'm just like, even if we were vaccinated, I
Mhm.
know all these people are not like, and they're
They're not,
just
and
walking
you still
around.
have a chance. You still have a chance to contract it, and you may not even present with actual symptoms. It won't have enough of it in you that will multiply, but still, that
Well,
can
we had
still
had
affect your
it.
organs. It can
Hmm.
still affect. I mean, it can still affect stuff. So it's like,
It
so
was
I
really
kept my
bad when I
social.
had it. Yeah.
I did decide to go maskless because the people we were with
Hmm.
were all vaccinated, and I
That was
knew,
good.
and they were all with whatever. But when there's others that were coming up, I just sort of like backed up, social distance, kept my hands cleaned, that kind of stuff. I wasn't going to be hugging anybody that, didn't have wristbands on. I'm like, nope, 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 not happening. Can't do it. Just can't
Hmm.
be irresponsible. Be irresponsible of me.
Well, yeah, Reese, honey, I ain't out here trying to die because you're a dumbass, honey.
I'm not here to fun. Fun. That's the
Trying to
thing.
survive.
I'm trying to survive for sure. For
Barely
sure.
am. Come on now. Jesus Christ.
Oh gosh, we've already been talking for 40 minutes. I can talk to you. So, I mean, you are so natural to talk. It's just, it's like, it's never hard. And then I look up and I'm like, are you kidding? Okay, so did you say everything you needed to say?
I
Because
don't have
we've got
anything to
another
say.
20
I've just
minutes.
been riffing with you.
You've just been
So,
ripping.
yeah.
Mm. I mean, I know that you've got a big move coming up. You're thinking about the prego once you get to higher ground in the
But
mountains.
it's gonna be some time until then
It's
because
going to
we're
be
gonna
fun.
be a little bit free. So I'm gonna want to like hoe around with my husband a little bit and run around, do stupid shit, whatever,
Yes,
visit
yes.
things, go on boats and haunt them for years to come, like shit like that. I got plans, y'all. So
Is there anything else going on in your life that you're struggling with or trying to overcome, or something that
Jesus,
is
I hope
going on?
not.
You're like, no, let it, nah.
Yeah. If it is, I'm indifferent to it or clearly unaware, and I would like to stay that way for the majority of this trip. Just
You're like, no more,
my
no
bandwidth
more.
has gone so let down since COVID. I'm like, I don't care anymore, man. Do you just
Are
leave
you
me
open to
alone?
questions? Are you open to questions from the chat?
Sure. Oh yeah.
Okay, you heard her. If you guys have questions for Miss Renee or myself or both, whatever, put it in bold so we can see it. I'll bring it up on screen and we will go after that.
Yeah.
I'm
All caps is
really,
helpful.
well, it is helpful
Yeah.
because,
All caps is helpful. Yeah.
it really is. It really is. Oh my gosh. And also, I wanted to thank you. Um, we have mild winters here. We don't have really intense winters. It's nothing like below. You actually in Colorado are going to get some intense winters.
I am so
Here,
ready.
you're
I'm
so ready.
so ready to be the fucking mountain woman with my axe. I do not care. I've already bought boots. I got them at sale at Marshall's for $40. You can't tell me anything.
I love it.
Camo and
I love
fuzzy.
it. I love the
Underrated.
snow and I love the cold. I love it. The cold energizes me where the heat just sort of zaps all of my energy. And I don't know if that's a diabetic thing or what it was. I don't know, but it's like I feel energized here. But our winters are like, because we're coastal,
Mm.
I think it was maybe the lowest it got this winter was like 18 degrees. And then it was generally in the 30s, like generally in the 30s. So
Oh,
not a
that's
whole
not
lot
bad.
of snowfall that happens here, but I love the change of the seasons, just to see that being on this path and connecting into nature and God and goddess and the whole thing, and just having those seasons, just kind of like, I don't know, it like re-energized me in a way that just took my path in a whole different direction that I wasn't getting from Texas. I wasn't, because it was just hot. That's all it was. It's just freaking hot. Okay, we
Well, I
got a
have
question.
one thing I have to share with you, but I have
Okay.
to go. I need it's. I do have something, but it involves me asking you a question. But I have to get a thing real quick. One sec.
No. Mm-mm.
One
Oh,
second.
getting the thing. Snow is asking us, what are you most excited for with our 2023 cruise. I love how you put the 2023 in there because people are thinking that it's next year. It's not.
Sorry. Okay. I need some advice because you know how to package really complicated things. I had made you something.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What is that? Oh my
ritual tray. I
there.
have to finish the edges, but yeah.
Oh, that's gorge.
Some of them open, some of them are resin shut, but you can put little jiggy that things
I
are.
love it. That's lovely.
I have no clue how I'm gonna get the fuck to Washington, so I'm gonna need help because you sent me shells and they didn't break in Houston. So
that's Bear. You got to talk to Bear. He's the shipping diva. He does all that stuff, and he just like pads things. There's
I'm gonna have to cut
I
out
don't know.
some actual styrofoam in the yard and piss off like all the children in a 5-mile radius for like an hour to make probably ship it. But yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Yeah. No, you got to ask him. Got to ask him because I'm the one that apparently wasn't doing it right. So he took over.
I love
I
that.
for my quilts. You would package stuff up, some little quilts and sent them to us in Texas before we had left. And so these are very nice little lap quilts and things like that you gave. And we're just grateful. It was just a really sweet thing, and you surprised us with that, and I loved it. Loved it, and it's come in
for your
handy.
next place. I don't know. You get people moving gifts. They matter. They need happy, good energy when you change places. It's a witch thing. Get manners.
It's a witch thing. It is a witch thing. Okay, Snow's got a question for you up there.
What are you most excited for with our 2023 cruise? Oh, I'm so ready to hoe it up. I'm just so ready. Like my husband's so excited too. He's already bought a Nintendo Switch like 2 years in advance so the boys can play. He's like, I'll make sure we have more controllers in case there's no TV. And he's like, you need to ask him questions of what's in the room. I'm like, it's usually on the booking. No, you need to ask because you've done it before. But now I'm excited for us to just like run around. But it's also a trick that we can take and also be separated in different rooms. So just like the boys go have fun babysitting him. But also he's like a fun person to be around. He's not like a stick in the mud. But at the same time, sometimes I have to be like, shoot. Go play. So. Oh
gosh, is there something in? Oh, somebody's doing some wrenches. Deploy wrench. Deploy. Something's happening in the chat. I don't know. I haven't seen it yet. I've got another question up here.
Hey, ratchets.
Ratchets, get them. Get them. Okay, Crimson has a serious question.
Is there a U-Haul to sneak an Australian witch to Colorado? We're doing one of those pods. I don't know if you would survive in the heat because it's going to be coming from Houston, Texas in our humidity on a long trip all the way to Colorado. So you would get a different type of, what do they call it, an escape room experience.
Oh gosh. All right. I've just blocked the person, I think, hopefully. Oh God.
Like, who the fuck has time for that at 3:47 Central Time?
I do not know. Let's see.
It's early for that.
Where'd it go? Did I already do it? Let's see. I'm going back up, seeing if they are gone. No, still here. Block. Hold on. Blocking.
Please hold for troll technical difficulties.
Please hold. Trolls trying to get what they want. All right, I think I did it. If I not, then banish the trolls. Yes. Okay. Like, what in the world is going on here? Banish the trolls. I think I caught up. I'm not sure. I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. Okay, hold on. I got another one. You know, in some ways, I'm like, kind of like.
And like, really me?
Like me? Like you?
Me? Okay.
Like you? Whatever.
I mean, if
whatever.
you like this human Houston hair, okay.
Yeah,
I mean, like, what?
Might as well check.
I'm doing the Hermione Granger, okay.
like I just took it out of my hair tie. That's all I did, and I got this fluff, but it was like up on my bun. Okay. No, he is still here. Oh, Jesus. I've tried to block, put them in timeout. Okay, they're in timeout. And I tried to block, but it's not working. So I don't know what that is. I apologize, people in chat.
If a whole bunch of people just start reporting the comment,
Mhm.
eventually it should at least freeze them out, at least temporarily.
Well, he was blocked for 5 minutes. That's all that I can seem to do. He's got something in the algorithms that is not working out as far as me
YouTube
trying
being
to
YouTube.
freaking YouTube. Come on. Like, give me more power. Okay, so Snow says she's reporting. I'm sorry for that. And I'm sorry for that in the chat. This don't get shy people. Oi, oi, oi. That's the thing. Oh, look, he's back again. What in the heck? I'm gonna put that up there. So see this guy? Let's get him away. Let's report this bastard. I have now blocked 4 times.
Oh, I have Ash right here, honey. I can just ruin his life.
I didn't hear what you said.
You're gonna have a really great week, buddy.
What a pain in the butt. It says an error occurred. Try refreshing the page. If I refresh, will I lose the feed?
You shouldn't. It should pop up the feed right back.
All right, refreshing. Refreshing. Entering back.
Still see you.
What was that?
Oh, I still see you. It was the same for me. Cross when you refreshed.
Put my laptop in there. Woo! Did you hear that? Yeah, Raven's laptop is a pain in the ass. Let's remove Raven's laptop. Let's get rid of my laptop.
But I tell you about technology,
cool.
man.
Okay,
our like conversation.
Gustav, I'm never going to watch this stream again. Okay, you're welcome to get your chat in control. I'm doing the best that I can. Thanks for judging me. It's awesome. Really love to come on here and, provide information for you in a vulnerable way, just so that we can be like challenged or whatever. I'm happy to remove you too, or you can just fucking leave yourself because I'm not putting up with your shit. How about that? So you can trigger me if you want, and we can go over here. And I'm sorry that you're pissed and you're triggered, but that wasn't me doing your shit. So I'm sorry that you're having such a fucking problem, and you can probably get off the chat right now. How about that? Not having it, people. Not having it. I'm sorry that a troll comes in, and I'm doing the very best that I can to get rid of them. Good gracious. And here he is again. Okay, well, I don't know what to do other than block him and block him and block him, and everybody else can help me who is a wrench to help me block him and put him in timeout. There's nothing I can seem to do because he's passed apparently all the algorithms, and I don't know what else to do. So, don't know what to do. Are you over there on your phone trying to do stuff?
I'm over there trying to, because I'm not a wrench, because my old YouTube is closed, so I just have like my personal one that I watch on.
Right.
I'm just putting in the group chat so we can see if anyone's available.
Goodness gracious. I know Noah's a wrench. Snow should be a wrench, but I don't know where else to go. Settings. Stuff has changed so much. It's been difficult.
This is part of the reason why I left. Because the thing is, though, I had a problem with a lot of like doxing and people getting into my account, and like one point someone found my address, and it's just like this parasocial relationship, and just like how there's an entitlement just because there's a person on a screen. Like we owe you anything, anywhere, and any time. is
Mm-hmm.
just kind of crazy when the whole point is to share and be informative. And so this weird power dynamic that happens, and it was just like, it creates this false sense of entitlement that like we owe you anything in any capacity. And this
Right.
is why like it's hard for other people who want to share information within the craft or within any place on the internet whatsoever that was really helpful. Because I have this type of problem with people when I found out I was autistic, and with female autistic creators who are, again, who have like some aspects, some have deficits, and also already have issue communicating well with other people. For me, it's just a skill that I've like really worked on my entire life, and it's like it's really hard, but they don't come forward because all the shit that like this type of shit.
Yep.
And it's just like, why the fuck would anyone want to share anything that would be helpful to anyone? Because like one fucking asshole here just feels like it's okay. Well, that's great if he's a fucking virus in the chat, but here's the thing. I'm not a technologically like advanced person. I do not have an IT degree. I do not have a CSS bootstrap, whatever the fuck, backend, fuck, like a cPanel, like whatever the hell. I was the person that fucking managed those people. This is just, seriously, it's YouTube. How am I supposed to keep up with all of these changes when the first internet I had came from an AOL fucking floppy disk and not a CD, and you were happy when it went from 15 minutes to 30 minutes of free internet time? Because it wasn't open source like it is now. You come from a different fucking world.
Yep.
Like, who the fuck are you? Here's the thing with me. Unlike some of the other witches, I don't really struggle with my ethics because I come from a more like left-hand path situation. It's more of, if you get in my way, I remove the obstacle. That's pretty much my path. And it's just like, seriously, witches? We fuck with the shit you don't see. And I'm not like, no one's gonna talk like that, but I don't give a fuck. Like, we're all having a hard time like everybody else. I'm just so irritated. This is like been a week. This is, you get it, like this, honestly, this has been the energy. This is why it's so fucking hard to get anything done. I feel it's just like there's just this blocking energy, and it's just like, dude, you can pace your breath to the moment, or you can pace your experience to your breath.
That's pretty powerful.
Now, if you want to sit here and get worked up by two fucking bitches with really nice tits and wavy hair, 36 double D's, if anyone was wondering, all natural. Yeah,
42,
not even
42 double D
5'1",
here.
not even 5'1". So yeah, my husband's pretty happy. So you can zoom up him all you want to.
Yeah, I have a feeling that it's a bot at this point.
I
because
know, and I'm just sitting here, it's just like, I fuck you, like, but at the same time, it irritates me, people get upset at us because where's the fucking learning curve?
Yeah.
How am I supposed to like know this shit? Like, it's like, I fucking hate technology. Sorry, it's turned into like a rant.
No, as soon as I hit the button to block or put them in timeout, there's like 5 more. So I feel like we've already given him his 5 minutes of fame for whatever it is. And at this point, I just would rather just ignore him because I've done everything I think I can right now. Because if I click on him, it comes on the screen. I don't, like, I'm not, super handy dandy technological either, but, just report. If you are a wrench, I'll have to figure out how to create new wrenches. I'm sorry. I don't have that power right now. I don't have it. It's not a thing.
Maybe I'm just old school. I just remember when YouTube was witches helping witches.
Yep, that was the thing. That was the thing.
In the words of Noah, and we might want to end the chat here because they're at 53 minutes, and I think we're both trying to just kind of like over.
Yep.
No new friends, man.
No new friends. No new friends. We are going to end the chat. We are sorry about this, but there's only so much that we can do. We're now frustrated.
Apologies for the rant, but
yeah,
I'm too tired, y'all.
Too tired. Too tired. Yeah. We're not going to deal with it. Well, we're going to love and leave you guys. I'm going to lock this situation down once we're off and figure out what to do next. Yeah. So stay tuned on social media, and I'll let you guys know about the next chat. All right. Bye, you guys.
Love, light, and deuces.